So
Cool.
thanks for coming on with us. You're out on the road right now, I understand.
I just got back to Nashville last night.
Oh, you did?
So I was on the road yesterday and I was out for a week. I spent 7 days up there being with family. And I practically saw my new niece, that baby, every day. Her name is Lainey. And every day except for one. So it was
How
worth it.
exciting is that?
It's so exciting. This is my only sibling for one. And I can't even like, put into words yet like what the feeling is. It's magic. It's so magical. I cannot wait for her and I just be best buds.
Absolutely. And maybe you can teach her how to play the guitar.
Yes, I've already been singing to her and being like, "It's okay, Lainey. If you want to sing, you can sing."
It's funny, even at that young age, they respond to music. It just tells you what music does to people.
Yeah, of course. And I've literally sent my sister videos already and being like, if you want to play this for her, or this is me doing the song live, like just you can feel free.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So yeah, like I said, we're very excited to talk with you today. And basically, we want to know about you. We don't want it like a cookie cutter type of interview. And we want to know some things that, people don't know, or, recommendations that you have, or, how you started out. So let's start from the beginning. Do you have any musical people in your family?
So my grandma sings in church. She's kind of off key a little bit. And I can say that because I know she's not online very much. But other than that, we don't really know. Like there's not really like a whole tracking line of musicians. I kind of came into this world and I was just born a creative, and my parents are both very left-brained, like financial numbers people. And so I kind of don't make sense to them all the time, but they're getting used to it. I mean, now I think they understand my career.
Excellent.
How old were you when you moved down to Nashville?
I was 27.
Wow. And
yeah,
you're from Wisconsin, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yep. So I got out of college, and yeah, this is something that people don't really know. I got out of school. I ended up staying up in Madison to do a business degree with a music minor instead of going to Belmont, which was my heart was set on, but it wasn't in the cards for me. And I ended up staying in Madison, loving that I stayed and doing the full band experience and then managing a band. And then I tried some corporate jobs. That was right after college. That was my using my sales experience towards these sales or marketing type of jobs. And I think I'm very grateful for that experience, because doing the sales part and the emails and the phone calls and the booking and the managing of that part of this job is easier for me because of that experience.
Good for you.
Excellent. Excellent.
So you treat your musical career like a business, and it's probably the smartest move anyone could do nowadays.
Oh yeah, this industry is very much a business industry with music as the cherry on top. When we get to be on stage, that's obviously the most enjoying part about it and the most fulfilling, but there's a lot of stuff that happens behind the curtains that people, don't see. And I was just talking to my aunt about this the other day. Like, I wear blue light glasses most of the day because a lot of my time is looking at screens. And you wouldn't think as an artist, but so much of today's day and age is about social media and connecting. And I take pride in really connecting directly with my fans and being able to talk with them. And they mean as much to me as vice versa. So I really do feel like we're building relationships and friendships, and I want to be available to that.
Excellent. Awesome. You've been out promoting your new single, Who Am I Gonna Love?
Yes, I have.
How exciting is that?
Oh, I've been loving it. I've been loving seeing all the radio stations get behind it, people like you guys, and being able to do interviews. And it's been really fun to celebrate it, especially since I'm sharing it with my duet partner, Thomas Cavanaugh. And even though he's across the pond, we've been able to see each other a little bit more than normal, just because he's making trips to Nashville and I went to London.
Oh, wow. Good for you.
Yeah.
Was that your first time?
It was my first time. He actually got the opportunity to play all 3 days at the O2 Arena for the Country to Country Festival.
Wow.
And so one day he was like, "Hey, would you want to come out to London and play this festival with me?" And I was like, "What? What? Yes, yes. This is one of those things. Even
Yeah,
though I'm scared, I should
you
say
know,
yes."
Right. Yeah, that's a once in a lifetime. Don't tell me
Yes.
it's a good
yeah,
time.
right?
I know, talk about, I mean, like, to go over to London for the first time and be able to play one of their biggest country music festivals at the O2 Arena. That sentence took me a while to
Yeah.
digest and be like, no, that's real. That is happening.
Cool.
How big is the audience over there for country music?
Well, it's expanding. I don't know, like, numbers wise. I'm trying to get a feel for it. I'm trying to learn the community in general. I would say as far as like the industry people go, like people in this circle that work to be
Mhm.
building this country music scene, I would have to say like 70 to like less than 100. You know what I mean? And like that's small. Like if you really think about it,
Yeah.
that's small, but they all kind of know each other. It's kind of like a Nashville hub, and it's growing very, very quickly. So I'm excited to just be a part of that and be a part of now like meeting people and hosting stuff for Live in the Living Room, which is a brand over there, and just kind of getting integrated in the community because everyone's been so nice and welcoming.
That's great.
Yeah. Yeah. What a feeling it must be to go into another country and, get up there and sing your music and, look into the crowd and see the people, grooving to your music and
Oh,
tapping.
that made me smile so big. That made me smile so big. And I have told a couple of people this. I haven't shared this yet publicly, but it was really special. And there was a moment in London where I almost got into tears because there was like a line of 15 people like wanting to take pictures and have us, sign things. And there were two people in that line in different groups that brought these thank you cards that I wrote them for when they ordered my record online, and I sent them a thank you card. And we're talking like more than a year ago. We're talking like maybe 2 years ago. And they bring these cards and it says, it's my thank you card. And they're like, we're Thirsties. Like we have your record. Like we're your fans. And I was like, stop. Like I can't keep it together right now because it was I'm like, where am I? I'm doing all the things that if I would be at a festival in the States, in my home state of all places, but now I'm in London and it's happening over here. And that was surreal. That was awesome.
The world tour begins and the audience grows. That's incredible.
Yes,
Good for
we're
you.
doing some planning for 2024 for a
Excellent.
tour.
That's
So
great.
I'm excited.
And I like the way that you call them Kirstie's Thirsties.
Yes.
Tell our audience what that actually means.
Yeah. So the Thirsties came about because I was in a band in the Midwest and it was called Thirsty Jones. And then I started throwing the word thirsty in like every song. Like I would put it in the lyrics and put it here. And there's a song, Just One More, where it has thirsty is my middle name. And then I took it to another level and released a song called Thirsty about like yearning for love but being very vulnerable. And we kind of just kept spinning that because I'm always about being very vulnerable and authentic in my music. And as people, OGs that came out to the shows, they started calling themselves the Thirsties. And I was like, I can't get past this. Like, this is just sticking. Like, people are just using this. So I got to lean in and use it. And it rhymes with my name. So I was like, this is great.
It's perfectly.
It is perfect. It is perfect. Do you have a favorite song of yours that you sing out on the road?
Oh, that I sang out? Oh,
Or
gosh.
that you play out, that you wrote?
It changes. I'm such a musician in that regard. Like, one week I'm like digging on playing this song because it's brand new and it's my first time playing and I'm digging this groove or whatever. So the latest that I added to the set list was Leave Like You're Leaving. But then there's this whole other aspect of like the last song I wrote is like in my head a lot. But really any given day, it's like there's a new song in my head. There's a song and I'm like, what is that? And I was like, oh yeah, that was that one song I wrote in like way back in the, why did that pop in my head? You know, there's always music going on.
Yeah, I was trying to bait you into saying a favorite song, and I was going to introduce the song and we could play.
Oh.
So if we were to play a song for the crowd right now, and then after we play it, we'd like to have you tell the crowd, you know, your inspiration for writing it and, you know, how you
Yeah.
wrote the lyrics. So what song do you
Well,
play for the song, for the,
yes, I have been asked if I had, you know, $100,000 to put behind a song on the record, what would I do? And I love the song Something New. It just is really positive. It's groovy. It's got a little bit of a doo-wop vibe, so it makes it unique. And I get to show off my voice a little bit. Like I got to stretch out some vocal cords in the studio. So Something New.
something?
Never been a better time. They say good luck will miss you. We're always here if you ever feel like coming home. Won't forget where I came from when I moved away from the only life that I've ever known. I've heard it sound playing in my head for some. Follow the tune.
All righty. That was Kirstie Kraus with Something New.
Woo, woo. Outside is something new.
Wow, we get live music and everything here.
It's even better now.
It is better. Keep going. Keep going.
Oh, it sounds just like the recording. Oh, no, just kidding.
How did you come up with that song?
Oh gosh. So I remember that day and I was going to go write with Joe Sly, and he now resides back in Wisconsin. But I've known him on and off, like in different capacities since I was 15. So I was going to go write with him. And before I left the door, my roommate asks, "Are you guys going to finish something up or are you going to start something new?" And I was like, for some reason that hit me in a different way that morning. And I think I was in a space where I knew I was about to write like my Nashville song about moving to Nashville and starting something new. And so when that was said, I went in and I was like, listen, this is what the song is going to be. It needs to be titled this. Let's go. Let's just talk about it. And so that's how it came about.
Now, are you one of the songwriters that when you have an idea, whether 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, you got to wake up and write it down, and just so you remember it in the morning, or are you the type that gets up and stays up all night and finishes what they whatever jumped into your mind?
That is a good question. I rarely finish the song like all night. A lot of times I'm like, I'll finish it tomorrow because I'm literally delirious right now. But I'm the type that instead of writing it down, I just click voice memos and I just have all of these, and I'll just click this and it sounds terrible. Like I'll be, my voice isn't even working because we're talking like 3, 4 in the morning. And so then the next day I'm listening to it, I'm like, oh, it was supposed to sound like this. Da, 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 you know what I mean? Like very different, but it was just enough for me to be able to like recreate what I was meaning to do. But that happens all the time. Or like the shower is a place where I feel like I'm making up songs a lot.
Where have you had most of your songwriting success? Or is it collaborating, or is it individually? You like to just do it and sit in a room by yourself?
You know, self-writing is for me more like on a non-timed basis. It just comes out when it comes out. So that could be like in the morning time, I'm just writing my journal, or late at night, or before I go somewhere, I have to like get this out really quick. And of course I'm late for, to go watch a friend or something, but that is more like a casual thing for me. I have scheduled writes. I probably write about 2 to 3 times a week, have scheduled writes. And that's when I like sit, prepare, we're finishing the song today. We're like, yeah.
Excellent.
And Kirstie, how can people find you and where you're going to be playing, and how can they go to your store? You have a great store. You got t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, you got CDs, you got autographs, and you can get a personalized song from you. So how would people do that?
Yes, you can go to my website at KirstieKraus.com. And then there's also a store where you can look at stuff like that. There have been people that have reached out to me to do songs. And that's like the coolest thing, to hear their story and be able to see their reaction when I put it into song. It's so rewarding because songwriting is something I've done for so long that I feel like it is a gift to share. I feel like everything I take in, whether it's new music or old music, that seeps into my melodies. That is part of the influence of what we're creating in the writing room. And so that's like years worth of listening to music for me to sit in a writing room and make up a melody.
Interesting. For the audience listening at home, when you're looking for Kirstie, it's www.KirstieKraus.com. So make sure you go find her. Make sure you follow her. Make sure you get on Instagram, Facebook, and on her website and follow and like and tag and listen to her music.
Yeah, the stuff in the store is pretty cool. Yeah.
Oh, please do.
So you've been playing everywhere. You've been playing Nashville. You've been to Florida. You've been to Wisconsin. All over the map. Nashville, there's a place every corner. And I see that you played a couple of our favorite places, the Bluebird Cafe and the Listening Room.
Yes, I love both of those places.
Yeah, the history in those four walls is unbelievable.
You can feel it when you walk in. Like
Just so I
it's
just want to clarify for John, it'd be 8 walls.
8 walls. He's a genius.
yeah, you walk in and you're like, you can feel almost the presence of how many different legends have played in that room, and the nostalgia and the importance. And literally, the Bluebird has been the backbone for songwriters for many years. I mean, it was a place that started where songwriters hung out and showcased their songs. Now, luckily, we have a couple other venues, but nothing is like the Bluebird.
We had the opportunity to be in the room when they had a round, and Jeff and Eric and a gentleman, Cody Webb. And then
I love Cody.
Cody's a great guy, isn't he?
Yeah, I was in his music video.
Oh, no kidding. Which one?
The truck one. I can't think of
Truckload of
gosh.
Trouble.
It was up because he's up from that area, and I know a lot of artists that are up like from that area originally. So
Carolina,
South
right?
Carolina.
Yeah.
oh, okay.
I have to go back and watch the video
They
again.
lived in Nashville for some time, and I think they just moved back to South Carolina, I believe. I forget.
That's cool. I just saw him in person at CRS, which is Country Radio Seminar,
Oh, yeah.
in March, and got to see him perform and say hi. And
Such
I
a
told
great.
him I would be in another music video if he'll have me. Just let me
He's-
know.
He is super talented. Who else was in the round that night? It was Jeff.
Jeff, Eric, it was Matthews.
Oh, Matthews. Yes. I'll think of it in a minute, but talk about it.
Craig Matthews?
Craig Matthews.
Is it Craig?
Talk about an unbelievable writing
And I
talent.
know another guy too.
That name sounds familiar.
Yeah, he's written a few big songs. And so Jeff and Eric are good friends of ours, not just on Facebook. We talk to them quite a bit. And whenever we go down, we visit with them, and they come up here every now and then.
Oh.
They
You
did.
tell him I said hello.
I certainly will.
We
Well,
will.
they did a firefighter tribute song years back, and they wrote in a part of it. It's the firefighters' creed, and this one gets to perform at the Bluebird twice now, I believe, doing the firefighter creed as part of the song. And it's like, come on, you can't sing.
Yeah,
You can't
not
play
bad for a
music.
guy who can't sing and can't play the guitar. I can
But
sing.
that's not the point always at the Bluebird. It's about the song. It really is about the song. Like, you can deliver it heartfelt and not be the best singer of the world, but it can still move people. And you guys probably have witnessed that.
I
you know?
sat there in an awe, and I'm jealous that the reason I say it the way I do is because I'm jealous that he gets to do it and I don't. Sit in that room and watch the crowd response to when he's reading the creed and surrounded by the song that they've written. It is
Awesome.
incredible to watch people just well up. You can see they support firefighters, that they have a lot of pride in their firefighters that they know, but the story and what the song's about, you just see people start literally tears running down their face.
No,
To see that music can touch someone like that, and that he can get some notoriety out of it.
that's so special. I love that.
So just the reason why I do it is I am a firefighter just outside of Boston. So
Awesome.
that's how that all came about.
That it is.
My sister's husband is an EMT firefighter, and
Excellent.
it's a lot of work, and we appreciate your service.
Thank you. Thank you very much. What do you got in the works going on right now?
I'm gearing up for a song coming out in May, so I'm really excited. And then right before that, before summer season of the Midwest, which is I have some full band shows coming up, and having Pickle Jar on board to stream it, and I'll get video and everything, and it's going to be a really special night,
So
and that's Friday.
You mentioned something there, Pickle Jar. I know you've supported them, and you've talked about that in the past. Tell us about Pickle Jar and your relationship with them.
Yeah, everything for relationship for me is like, it's the people first. Like, if they're outstanding people and outstanding leaders, then and I bring them into my realm. Like, that's very important to me about who I'm surrounded with. Pickle Jar is a great, fantastic team. They're launching so many cool things on this app, but it's essentially a fan to artist like relation app directly. Like, you can get notifications on upcoming shows. You can request songs. You can tip the artist directly that way. And artists can also do campaigns. So it's like a Patreon meets requesting app. It meets so many things, and then on top of that, they do live interviews and different content.
That's
The Pickle
incredible.
Jar Live.
It's going to be great for independent artists to get that platform out there and have that opportunity. So thank you, Pickle Jar, for that.
This past year, there's been a lot going on. Like these storms get bigger and bigger. These hurricanes are affecting musicians as well. I remember doing the Trop Rockathon, which was just to help artists down in Florida that literally couldn't play for at least a month, or if not more, because their places that they played at were literally shut down or ruined, and needed to get regrouped back up after tornadoes and hurricanes. And it's been kind of crazy, this weather, and then also people being affected by school shootings. There's a lot going on in Nashville right now. There was some somberness this past week. I mean, it's just, I try to be a part of events as I can. One of them I was not able to do this past week because I was up with my family in Wisconsin. But every time I get asked and it's something I can do, I love being on board for that, because if we can help in any way by spreading love and hope and in music, that's what it's about.
There's so much positive down in Nashville, and it's terrible to see. The weather is Mother Nature, and we can only do so much about that. But the bomb that went off, and then the other night or the other day, the school shooting, it's too much, and it's tragic and it's heartbreaking. I stayed at last time we were down. Before John and I were down last, I took a few friends down, and I lied to him. I told them we were staying at the Omni, and I actually put us up at the downtown Nashville hostel, which is a really, really great spot, to be honest. But it was, and part of my sadness is that bomb that blew up and took out those buildings on Second, it blasted straight through to First.
Right there.
So you can actually see right straight through the building where our room was and see the river now from Second Street.
Wow.
And it's just, to have a mar like that on such a great community, it's hard to understand. It really is.
We're a community that, bands together, and Nashville Strong. The hashtag happened a long time ago, but it's still going.
It's still, yeah, it's true. That's for sure. And I think a lot of it is, the type of people that gravitate to there, the artists, the community that's there. I think a big part of that is the heartfelt feelings and the people that you are, make it a little bit stronger than other areas, in my opinion.
Well said. I love that.
So you also mentioned something. Let's get back to maybe a more positive note or a different sense. You mentioned Key West and the series you're going to be involved with down there. Tell us about that.
Oh, I'm so excited. This will be, oh gosh, my third or fourth year in a row going to the Key West Songwriters Festival. And I'm really excited about the couple shows that we have down in Key West during that week. It's a week where the Key West Songwriters Festival is where pretty much Nashville artists and songwriters take over and hang out down there. There's performances throughout the island. And I'm just excited to be a part of it again, because it's really how I've met new co-writers. I've met guitar players, like just hanging out and kind of more of a relaxed beach setting, which is my vibe.
I like
Hey,
it. I'll tell you what, I love Key West. There's so much going on down there. The food, the music. Green Parrot is one of my favorite spots.
Oh, yes.
I just think it's such the environment and the music and everything. I love it. It's incredible.
We'll be at the for sure the Tipsy Rooster, it sounds like, twice, and then we'll be at the Sunset Pier from 1 to 4, like that Sunday. We'll also probably pop up at the Smokin' Tuna and Island Dogs and a couple other places. I think we're scheduled for some writers rounds.
Excellent.
Too,
The Island Dog is the home of the Southernmost Patriot fan club.
Yes.
There to watch a few games, and it's a great spot to be.
That is a fact. Yes.
Let's see. So you like the beach vibe?
Oh, yes.
A thing now. Right now, it seems more popular with country musicians. Like, obviously, Kenny helps make that a little popular. But it does seem like people enjoy that relaxed feel that are into country music right now.
Yeah, I think it started for me really in 2020. I started going to Florida and visiting my aunt and just playing outside shows where I felt comfortable and people felt comfortable being outside. And I was like, I'm just gonna, I have to play. That's what I do for money. So I'm just gonna play outside my shows. And I started writing Florida songs. I just got into it and I realized I really enjoyed it. And I was seeing people enjoy listening to them. So I wrote some songs called Beaches Be Crazy. And I wrote songs like Shell Vent because you're hell bent on getting to Florida all the time. So you're shell bent and stuff like that. And it's been really fun. Now I think I'm like 15 or 16 songs deep in the Florida songs. And I have really enjoyed getting to be a part of the trop rock community. So the trop rock is short for tropical rock.
Yeah.
And they're throughout all the country, but their Super Bowl party of the year is normally in Key West. This next year, they're moving it to Gulf Shores. But it's been so much fun just to get to know everybody and be able to play my Florida songs. And now in May, there will be a song coming out called Tied Down, but that is Tide. Tie as well.
You're up around the Tampa area in Clearwater. Check out a little town called Dunedin.
Yes, I played in Dunedin.
No,
and a nearby town. Yes, those little villages. They're not even cities. They're like villages, and they have this cool vibe and so colorful and very much into the arts. We've just gotten into that. Like
one of the places I love the most in this world is the little village of Dunedin, the little town down there. If you get a chance, get to do some shows there because the people are wonderful. The community is incredible. And it's exactly what you just described. Very artsy. I think it's the most craft breweries in a 5 square mile.
Which makes me so happy because
sign me up.
I'm from Wisconsin. So I'm kind of a craft beer snob.
So as a musician that's really starting to get a name for herself, who would you like to share the stage with?
Ooh. I mean, Brett Eldridge, and I don't know how much I'm allowed to like release, but I might have a show coming up where he's after me.
Possibly.
And that would be amazing. I just really dig his vibe and his voice, and he's got that Frank Sinatra phrasing that he does, and I really appreciate that because he's got his own sound. And like him and Cam, I idolize Cam. Cam's got her own sound. Maggie Rose has got her own sound. There's people like that. I really am I gravitate towards because I really like that they are trailblazers. So really any of them.
I just realized, one of the things that we always try and learn something new when we come into the podcast studio, and I just did. Looking at myself, it took me all this time to realize that you don't wear a green shirt when you have a green screen behind you.
Oh, I'm just noticing.
Oh, it actually sinks into the screen.
It does.
That is hilarious.
I didn't realize that until you said it, Mark.
So we learned something.
Yeah.
So with that,
I feel like it was there at one point, but now it's not anymore.
Yeah, it's the white lettering sticking out, but nothing else.
Right.
So with that, let's segue into, we always ask the artist, if you were going to tell a younger artist or someone coming into the industry some sage advice, something that will take them that may not hear in a classroom from the family, something that you can offer them that you've learned.
Yeah, I would say, I don't know if they haven't heard this or not, but I would say just take your time getting to know somebody in the industry that you're about to do business with. Make sure you take your time with that and check their references. If they're not willing to give you references, if it feels weird, slowly back away, smile, let them know it's all gravy, and you'll see them at the next event.
If you go back and listen to our Morgan Miles episode.
Did she say that?
Exactly.
I adore her so much.
She used a couple of choice words.
Yeah, she was a little bit more descriptive.
Yes, that's the same words pretty much that she used. And I think it's great advice because, people coming up in the music industry don't know all the ins and outs. And I think learning from someone like yourself who may have learned it from someone, or you may have learned it the hard way, is, like you said, sage advice.
Yeah.
And as an artist that's a dreamer, you hope that it's the way that you want it to be, but you gotta
Always
make
looking for
sure.
always looking for the good in it, but there's people out there
Right.
that are taking advantage of it, and it's sad.
100%. Hmm.
So good. Thank you for that advice. Every time it's reiterated during a show, I hope more and more musicians and younger kids hear it as they come into it and heed your advice.
Yeah, and I guess I want to also go with that is like on the other end, if it does happen, like that's just a bump in the road. That doesn't mean you need to be done. That doesn't mean anything, no matter what that person says or does. Like if you love something, just continue your path. Don't let that get into your path, stay in your path, bother you. Like roll it off, like my song Bird. Focus on the positive, roll it off your shoulder, and continue on.
Here.
Yeah. I'm sure it's hard to do that though. It's easy to say it, but especially for a young kid coming up, you're told no an awful lot in the music industry. And you got to take that with a grain of salt and just be persistent and keep going for your dream.
Yes, 100%. You need to the tenacity to keep going and the want and desire enough to keep going. Definitely, the business is a business, and I think that's where the sales background for me comes in. Like, however many emails I put out, if I get some back that say yes to this show, yes to this, cool. Like, it's just a numbers game. You can't take it personally.
Yeah. So let me ask you, you got your show coming up, and then you're going to be down in Key West. What else do you have on? Give us a rundown of your calendar right now and where people can see you out.
Here, let me pull up my calendar here. I'm going to see Leanne Rhymes this weekend, which
Fun.
I love because she was my first concert ever at Summerfest.
It's funny that I was going to ask you what your first concert was.
It was Leanne Rhymes. And then my second concert was Shania Twain. I am playing on April 10th at the Round downtown, which is at the Assembly Food Hall right down on Broadway. And then I'll be at the Live Oak for Writers Round. I'll be in Nashville or another Writers Round on the 19th. So local places, local to Nashville. It looks like I'm in Nashville for a bit. And then I host my party on the 21st.
The 21st. That's right.
Friday the 21st.
And that is again at the
Vinyl Lounge,
Wow.
Which is a brand new spot. They print vinyl at their place. They printed Hardy's stuff. They printed a lot of stuff. And then also a lot of labels in town do showcases there. So it's a really cool venue. I'm really excited.
That must be pretty cool to see how they make the actual vinyl.
Yeah, they have windows that are just open and you can watch them being pressed.
Where is that located?
It's on 3rd Street, but a little bit away from all the tall buildings.
Okay.
So you can look, literally, you can see the skyline. But it's right downtown still. Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
Awesome. So for our listeners, we are talking with Kirstie Kraus. This is episode 52. And we recommend that you go check her out on Instagram, Facebook, follow her website, buy some swag from her store, and download some of her music and support her incredible talents.
Yeah, check out her music. You're going to be pleasantly surprised at what you're hearing. And it's her original work, original songs, and it is a gem. So get out there and listen.
So Kirstie, before we close up the show, what song?
You guys are so sweet. Thank you.
What song would you like us to close out the show with?
Let's do a fun song. Let's do the song Just One More.
Just One More. Okay, this is Kirstie Kraus with Just One More.
Breaking home, and that drink sure hit the spot. Thirsty is my middle name. Pin my tab, it's been fun, it's getting late, I gotta run. Man, I wish I could stay. Then headlights cross the window, his mom is back in town. That son of a gun, I owe him one. Oh, I can't live now.
I started, like basically started with the band and would perform live. And so I was like, you know what, I gotta do this. I gotta write this song. And I brought it back to them and performed it live, and I tried to capture the essence of this small town bar, which now playing it live other places, kind of just, I see people relate to it. They're like, we know that place, we know that. So it's really fun to be able to perform live, and it's got this fun little signature lick to it, which kind of is like Irish jiggy, you know, like let's drink, and it's a fun song.
Everything down in Nashville revolves around drinking.
Yeah.
At least when Mark
Whiskey.
and I get on, whiskey.
Revolves around the whiskey.
I'm all in on the whiskey and bourbon.
You like, just kidding.
It's a recipe for success.
Yes, I think so.
Awesome. Again, we want to really thank you. I know you're very busy with your schedule, and if there's anything that you would like us to help you promote in the future, please reach out, and we will
Oh,
send it
it's
out to our
wonderful.
listeners. And
Yeah.
Awesome.
Hopefully we'll see you when we come down to Nashville.
Yes, or vice versa. I'm gonna have to get up there and tour, and I just so appreciate the time, you guys, tonight. And you've said some wonderful things that I will not forget, and I just appreciate that so much. Thank you for supporting the music and the new single.
well, we appreciate you also, and thank you for being our friend.
Yeah, you know, it's great to hear that you know some other friends of ours, Cody Webb. And John just stole what I was going to close the show with, but he always does that when I'm ready to say, thank you for being our friend. You know, I don't interfere with his opening, but he interferes with my closing.
Every time, Mark.
But
You
listen,
guys are funny.
we do
I
want
love
to
it.
thank you for coming and spending time with us.
Thank you.